Hello, my name is Alex Creasel. This is my storyboard project. I based my city on page 8, the description of Diomira. The oppressive sun is still high in the sky. It guides the viewer's eyes from left to right, bringing them to focus on the man, the narrator in the book, after their own journey through the desert. The sun is still blinding, and its rays overwhelm the narrator, but he thinks he sees a beautiful city at the edge of the wilderness. Or could it be a mirage? It is uncertain how much of it is fantasy. I want the viewer to focus on the city, so it's placed in the center. I use color to express the narrator's focus. He forgets the wilderness amidst his fantasy. Now that we approach the real city, we can see how the sun is starting to set, and is no longer nearly as oppressive. This communicates the narrator's relief. Inspired by other artists, I use English language characters to help increase the perceived rigidity and solidness of the city to contrast its previous fantasy/mirage appearance. You can also see some of the spiral staircases as described in the book here to draw on the buildings. The narrator is pleased to be here. You can see I am smiling. The hustle and bustle of the city is clear. The sun sets furthermore, and we see the violins and telescopes as described in the text. The color once again illuminates the focus of the narrator. This perspective is detached from the direct perspective of the narrator. This more God's eye style view is used to imply that it's not nearly what the narrator is seeing, but what he's describing through his words and emotions. The cockfights, brawls, and foreigner meeting two women only to encounter a third. We can tell he's foreign due to him being the only one not wearing a hat or headpiece. The sun continues to set in the background. We are now at a split image. The narrator is reflecting on how the city is what he imagined it to be, but he's here as an old man, not as a young man as he had first imagined it. The left half shows the sun setting and night approaching. He is old, while the right side is the sun still vibrant, full of energy, casting its rays. The sun represents his life and youth. We can see how the real city and the one he imagined are still the same. But the one he's actually experiencing, his actual reality, is the one that's still vibrant and fresh. While as the text it's described as his old desires being merely memories, we can see how washed out the right image on the right is. Due to his age, he sits and observes the city in front of him. The sun is now nearly completely down, and though this moment is bittersweet, his desires are but memories. I use the lack of color to signal that his entire focus is on the fact that he is now old and tired. The sunset, which represents him becoming more old and tired, finally reaches its final point. In the darkness of the night, he now rests, a conclusion to his life's journey. I wanted to focus on the consistent use of sun as symbolism for his life and the meaning it adds to his and our journey. As the reader, we traveled with him through the desert, experienced the fantasy of a faraway city, saw its beauty and excitement, and then rested at the end. Throughout this class, we've learned not only about many different methods that we can use to communicate ideas with images, but also what we can learn about ourselves from interactions and interpretations with images, compounding images to create a complex array of meanings, stories, and emotions. In this project, I wanted to focus on symbolism, the use of color, color theory, geometry, and the sense of time, and how our interpretations are not an objective reflection of reality necessarily. Many of the slides I created show the narrator selectively focusing on certain aspects of the city, which drain the color from what he does not focus on. When he recites the nature of the city to us, I allow him to paint a full picture, full of color. I believe I was able to tell a coherent narrative through my storyboard, and I wonder what interpretations and emotions others will feel when viewing them. I'm really glad to have been able to participate and learn in this class. I am proud of my work on this project. I hope that it'll inspire interest in those viewing. Thank you very much for listening.